Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today is Friday, November 17th. And as many of you probably already heard, Speaker Johnson released the January 6 footage. Now, even though you already heard and you've seen it, most likely, you know that most of the conspiracy theorists were right. There was no insurrection on January 6th, and the political prisoners that are locked up for 22 years and being labeled as terrorists did nothing wrong. We learned also the power of the production company that the government has access to. We know that, they're all standing behind the sidelines there, videotaping, taking pictures, and what was released on our TV screens around the time that it happened is a whole different production than what we're seeing in the actual videotapes of what took place. And I challenge you to look into some other instances around the world, with their powerful production companies. They have the ability to film and control everything that you're seeing. So when all of this stuff gets released, I encourage you to look into things and challenge the narrative that's being brainwashed into our heads. For instance, the war in Israel, the war in Ukraine. Volodymyr Zelensky, the president of Ukraine, owns a production company and is a paid actor. So all of the stuff that we've been seeing for years, I ask you to question and pay close attention to what's really going on in this world, because most of it is a movie, or you've seen a movie that they based what they're doing to us off from. I've said in several videos, if you look at The Long Kiss Goodnight, for instance, that movie was released in 1998. The synopsis of the movie is Charlene Baltimore, an ex-CIA operative who was in charge of Operation Honeymoon. Operation Honeymoon was a advanced order to drive a semi-truck into the bottom of the Twin Towers, blow them up, so that way they could blame it on the Arabs and go to war, because war generates money. And then in 2001, an airplane, 2 airplanes, 3 airplanes, 4, however they spin it off, supposedly hit the Twin Towers, brought them down. They blamed it on the Arabs, and we went to war for 20 years. So it's kind of interesting. Very interesting how that happened. Like I said before, in 2004, you have a movie called Man of the Year with Robin Williams, where they have a voting system, the very first electronic voting system being introduced. And in that movie, Delacroix Voting Systems has an error where it flips votes for the other candidate. Robin Williams, being a comedian, ends up winning the presidency because of this mistake. While the lady Laura Linney, who was trying to share that there was a mistake and an error, they tried to ruin her, kill her, get her out of the picture, so no one knew that that was taking place. Fast forward to 2020, we have the Dominion Voting Systems, who has been proven everywhere now to be flipping votes, that there is literally a way to hack them and to change the votes. So a lot of things in this world are kind of like a sleight of hand. It's like a magician. They want you to be looking over here while they're doing this over here. And it's worked for a lot of years. But there's a lot of people whose eyes are opening to what's been going down. We've been complacent for this long, but things are coming out. The January 6 footage is coming out. They now know that Biden's crime family has received over $1 billion in corrupt money. And that's 10% for the big guy. as well, on top of that. They know that he has documents from the documents case from clear back when he was a senator and a congressman from, 20 years ago that he smuggled out of Congress and he had in his possession. All of this evidence against the Democrats, and nothing is being done. No evidence against any Republicans or Donald Trump himself, but indictments galore, imprisonment, persecution, attacking us, labeling us as terrorists. If you must know, I'm not even a Republican. I'm an independent. I don't like Republicans or Democrats. I don't like government whatsoever because I don't believe that they've ever had our best interest at heart. So there you have it. I mean, I know there's a lot of people out there that are Republican and Democrats, and they have their own say. They are able to, talk about things. That's what free speech is. But in this instance, like I've said in numerous videos, I think there's maybe 5, maybe 6 now in Congress and Senate who are not corrupt and in it for the money. They are all lining their pockets. If you look at it right now, with the inflation being the way it is, through the roof, most everything in the stock market that these people have inside information about is 30% higher. Inflation, 30% higher. That means all of their investments and all of this stuff that they have insider knowledge about, they're making billions of dollars. The COVID, when it all happened, it was the biggest exchange of money in the world. People, literally, the lower class and middle class disappeared, and we went to nothing as all of these people got rich and richer and richer. Everything that has happened to us throughout history can be traced back to money and power. That's why I wrote We the Peasants, an 8th Century Stronghold. It's a book that's available on Amazon. You can get it on Kindle as well. There's also Operation Truth, A Rogue Colonel's Quest. These books discuss what's going on in the world. They're not long books. They're not, great big novels. But they tell what's going on in a very short period of time. Like I said, they're both available on Kindle. They're both available on Amazon. You should definitely check those out. I definitely want to get my books to Donald Trump. I would think that he should read those. And like I said, if I can figure out how to get them to him, I will send them to him for free, just so that way he can read them. But you got to stay vigilant out there. Right now, the far left is doing everything in their power to maintain their money and power. If it means starting a nuclear war, they will do it to hold that grip on power. So, like I said, stay vigilant. If you can, get a little extra food, water, whatever you can. I know it's difficult to obtain extra stuff right now because money's tight for everyone. But if you can, you should definitely do it. And pay attention. Watch all of these January 6th videos that Mike Johnson just released, because you're going to see a whole different story than you were fed through the media. If you try to search it on Google, you're not going to find it. Google is stopping you from finding the actual videos. You have to most likely watch them on Twitter or TikTok. TikTok will probably remove them before long too, because they don't want you to know the truth. No one out there really wants you to know the truth about what's going on in the world that you currently live in. So, like I said, stay vigilant, like and subscribe, share these videos, and hopefully there's a world here left for the next video. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.